Hey guys, welcome to another tier ranking. Welcome to my tier ranking for Survivor Runners Up. These are all the survivors who made it to the final tribal council and lost the $1,000,000. Every season, except one, because I'll admit, I put these pictures up, put them all in order, and after I put them all in order, I realized I was missing one. I was missing Katie from Survivor Palau, which I don't have, but I'm just saying right now, she would be an F tier. Just let you know. You're going to see some winners on here because some winners of Survivor have also been runners up in some seasons. So I'm still counting them. These are the runners up of all the seasons of Survivor, and I'm going to put them into a tier ranking based off of two things: their gameplay and off of them as people, as characters on the show. Did I like them? Were they entertaining? Were they good TV? Did I root for them? And I'm gonna talk about just, was their gameplay any good? Physical game, strategic game, social game. All of that I'm taking into consideration. So this is my personal tier list of Survivor runners up: S tier, F tier. S is the best, F is the worst. There's a lot of people, so I can't talk about them all forever. So let's get to it. Very first runner-up is Kelly Wigglesworth, who is a C tier. She is an okay player. Physically, she's fantastic. Strategically, she has no strategy whatsoever. You saw that again when she played in Second Chance. Social game is okay. She is boring television. The best part of the first season of Survivor was the winner, Richard Hatch, and Rudy, and even Sue. Sue was pretty fun too. So she just wasn't that fun. I I really think she's just a middle of the road player. I don't think she's a bad runner up. I just don't think she's a great runner up. So yeah. Then we got to go with the movie star Colby, who's a B. When season 2 came out of the Australian Outback, I was rooting for Colby the whole time, and I never understood why Tina won. But as I got older and I rewatched Australian Outback, I realized it now. Tina played the better strategic game, and she played the better social game. Colby was like Kelly Wiggles. He just played a very good physical game. And that's not always enough to win the game of Survivor. But what puts him above her is that I think he's just more fun, he's likable, he's better TV than Kelly Wiggles. So that's why he's above her. Kim Johnson is a B as well. I think Kim Johnson plays a good physical game, but I actually think she plays a relatively good social game. I think her social game is very solid. I think she was in a lose-lose situation, though. Because if she went to the end with Lex, she loses. If she went to the end with Ethan, she loses. She was in a lose-lose, so she had no choice. But she did fight her ass off. She did a very good Final Tribal Council performance. She fought tooth and nail to the end. Just she lost to the likablest player of the season, Ethan. So can't really blame her. I don't think her strategic game was still quite there on that S or A tier. I don't think she was riveting TV at all. Big Tom and Lex were a lot more entertaining, but she was decent. Nalia, Nalia, I'll go D for Nalia. I don't think Nalia had a single ounce of a strategic game. I don't think she knew what she was doing half the time. She relied heavily on her alliance, especially Kathy, to make a lot of her choices. I think her social game was lacking. I think her physical game was decent, and she was sometimes entertaining, but I think she's just not that good of a player. And she got really, really lucky. I just don't think she ever wins anyways. Vesepia was not a very likable person, but she still beat her. I couldn't imagine if she went to the end with a Pascal or a Kathy. They both probably would have jury sweeped her. So I think she's a D tier. She's not very good. Then we got the Clay, who I can't stand. Absolutely can't stand. I think he's creepy. He's weird. He's idiotic. He just attached himself to Brian and got to the end. Nothing good about Clay. Matthew, I'm going to go Matthew from the Pearl Islands. I don't think he's a very good player either. I think he was just not strategically sound. Sure, he had a decent physical game, but I feel like he just had no concept of what anything was going on in the game of Survivor. So, yeah. Lil, I fucking can't stand Lil. I think her returning is what benefited her and her tribe. When she joined the merge, she just latched onto the majority numbers and she again just got lucky, and then she just never had any chance of winning the game, and she was always my least favorite player of the Pearl Islands. I was rooting for Johnny Fairplay or like a Savage or Rupert, but Lil sadly made it to the final two, but gladly she lost. Boston Rob, first S tier right there. He played a perfect game actually in All Stars. He literally lost due to a bitter jury. He just burned a lot of bridges, a lot of friendships he ruined, like Lex and Kathy and Alicia. But he played a fantastic game. He played a solid strategic game, a fantastic physical game, and his social game with his alliance was good. Not great. He was lacking. His jury management was lacking. But he also made good TV, and just his relationship with Amber was just a lot of fun on the All-Star season, and I think he played a fantastic game. Twyla was very lacking. Like, her social game, one of the worst, and that's all I gotta say, because the jury hated her. Then we got Steph. This is her in Guatemala, not Palau. Love her in Palau, Guatemala, very lacking. She just had the numbers. That's really it. They really painted Steph a lot as she's like a bad person on the show. I don't think she was that bad, but definitely not great. Danielle, just the worst package. Boring TV, bad social player, bad strategic player. Got lucky in the final immunity, which got her to the end, but luckily she lost. Cook Islands, Ozzy. I'll go B for Ozzy because he was very close to winning, and he was playing against one of the best players to play that game. And he only lost by a single vote because he was just such a dominant physical player. And he did have social connections, so there is that. Unlike Becky, who was just a nothing player. She had no chance of ever winning. Even if she went to the end, like a final two with the Sundra, she loses. So, yeah. And then we got Dreams and Cassandra. Cassandra is a terrible player. She, again, has no concept of the game. I'm going C for Dreams. Even though he did a lot of backstabbing, he was entertaining, and he did play an okay game to get himself to the end, and I can't fault him too much for it. There's some things I think is very questionable what he does, but he's still not bad. Courtney, entertaining, terrible player, but very entertaining. Amanda, the opposite, not entertaining, but a pretty good player. But at least she's a double runner-up, so she's got to go B tier for that. Oh fuck, Susie, dog shit player. Sugar, I'm going to C because Sugar actually played a pretty relatively good game. Just I think her final tribal council performance is one of the worst I've ever seen. She literally lost herself $1 million. Stephen Fishback, A tier, love Fishback. I think if he didn't go to the end with JT, I think he wins the game. I think he played a very good strategic game and a good social game. And I think he just had a really good concept of the game, but just his bad luck, his number one ally was the most likable and dominant player of the game, so sucks to suck. Mick, almost an invisible player of the game. Then we got Russell Hands, who's a double runner-up. I think Russell is a fantastic player. I think he lacks very much in Heroes vs. Villains, was a social game, but I think in Samoa, strategic, he dominates the game. He is very entertaining television both times he plays. Well, even in Redemption, he's just entertaining television, but He plays a very good strategic powerhouse game. And he's a good physical player. His social game is a little lacking, but I personally just love Russell Haynes. Poverty, when she is when she's a runner-up, I think is also an S tier. I think Her and Heroes as Villains is a fantastic game for her because she was target number one. So she got on the show because if she didn't align herself with Russell, she probably would have never made the merge. So it was a very good it was a good play on her part, and she wins challenges, plays idols properly. And again, if she goes to the end, like a final two with Russell, she wins. It's just she went to the end with Sandra, and Sandra wins. Then we got Sash and Chase. I think Sash is okay. I think he has some strategic value, but I think Chase is actually an A tier player because I actually think Chase wins the game if he doesn't go to the end with Fabio. He goes to the end with Holly, he wins. Final two with Sash, he wins. He goes to the end with Dan, he wins. The only time he doesn't win is the end with Fabio, but Fabio wins out. I think Chase was a very paranoid player, but I still think he played a very good social and strategic game. And I think he did what he had to do to get to the end, and I can't respect him for that. Then we have Redemption Island. Natalie is an awful player. Fucking terrible. And just rides coattails. Philip, I'll go D, because even though he's entertaining television. I think he's one of the worst players ever. I think he's an F tier player, but he's entertaining, so I'll move him to a D. Albert is a pretty clueless player, but he does get Brandon to give him the necklace, which is something. I think Coach is fantastic in South Pacific. I think if he just owns his fucking game up, I think he wins the game, but he's just so dumb when it comes to that final tribal consequence because he keeps talking so much about honor and everything. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up and own your game. Sabrina, One World. Social games, great. Everything else, ugh. So yeah. I think Dawn's annoying, but I have to put Dawn in a B because her game is not bad. Because like I say, if she goes to the end with someone that isn't John Cochran, she wins the game. So Sherry, F. Terrible. That's an easy one. Lisa. I'll go C for Lisa and F for Scoopin. You all know why. For the Blood versus Water, I actually didn't mind Jervis's gameplay. I actually appreciated and respected it, even though he was a little cocky and arrogant sometimes. I still enjoyed him, and if Tyson wasn't at the end, my vote probably would have went to Jervis. Culpepper wins out a lot, and I respect her for that, but she's a little too emotional. Wu's a fun character, entertaining TV. That's why he goes to B, but he's just not a very good player at the game. But I still like him a lot, so there's that. Jacqueline is also a B, and then you got Missy, who's just fucking terrible. We got Mama C from Worlds Apart. I think she has good idol plays, and she knows a lot about the game. And then you got the dead fish they call Will. I'll put him in D, because at least he did have social connections and built social connections with players, so I can give him that. Second chance, we got Tasha. She was better in Kageon this season. She was just okay. Spencer was a better player. Aubrey, I think, again, if Aubrey doesn't go to the game with Michelle, who wins out, she wins the game. I actually like the runners-up of Korong more than the winner. I love Michelle and Ty. I mean, not Michelle, Ty. Aubrey and Ty. Hannah, she's alright. I actually like Ken a little more. Brad Culpepper, who's clearly a physical dominant player. I think he plays a pretty good game. Troy Zan, not so much. We got Chrissy now from HHH. I think Chrissy is a B tier, along with her partner in crime, Ryan. I think Laurel is fucking terrible. Dominic is an S. Dominic's, again, I think Dominic actually deserved to win that whole season more than Wendell did, really. I think Mike's an A. I think Mike's fantastic, and I think Angelina is. I'll go D, I guess. But okay, Julie and Gavin. I'll put them both in D because they're just equally generic and forgettable. We got Nora. Then we got Dean. I fucking love Dean. I really think he's good. Michelle and Natalie, I'll put in the B because Michelle had the better social game, but Natalie had the good physical dominating game. Then we got Xander, who's an A. Then we got Deshaun, who's a B. We got Mike, who's an A. Then we got Romeo. Oh, God. I'll go D. Cassidy is a B. Then we got Owen, who's a B. There we go. Ugh. I had to rush through that, guys. Sorry. There's a lot of people to talk about. There we go. So there you go. That was my tier ranking for the Survivor runners-up. Let me know in the comments below who's your favorite and least favorite runner-up in the game of Survivor. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.